我们谢谢 Shelton 给我们讲几句 ，OK？Shelton。Hello， 你好。
你好。
Yeah, so my name is Sheldon Sterrett, and I'm running for mayor of Richmond. And just like Wong here, there's 3 core reasons. One of them is to shut down the drug housing sites at Alderbridge Way and Aster Place on Alderbridge and Smith Road in Richmond. Both of these sites have been operating for the last 5 years, and they've increased crime, drug use, disorder in the neighborhoods where they're going. Residents don't want to see people doing drugs. And I know Wong talked about the story of the 14-year-old girl, Emily Liu, who died of fentanyl overdose on the Lunar New Year day last year. That's a tragedy for the family to lose their daughter on the Lunar New Year when you should be celebrating the New Year. And just 24 hours before her death, she was seen in Richmond with someone who was probably giving her the drugs that later killed her that day. So I'm running because our entire city council, the current city council, they all voted for these drug sites, and they all voted for it. They all voted to extend them, and it's led to lots of crime. Just this year, retail shoplifting and theft is up 75%. So a lot of the small business owners are having people coming and stealing from their restaurants. The other issue too is, of course, our property rights here in Richmond. The Cowichan has claimed a huge chunk of Richmond, and they think it belongs to the Cowichan First Nation. And because of that, our entire city council sat empty until they lost the case in court, and then told us after they lost. None of them told us back in 2014, when the legal case started, that the Cowichan was claiming half of Richmond. They should have told us in 2014. But all these councillors stayed silent until they lost, and then they came and told us. So we need councillors that will speak up and tell us when things are going, not hide it for 10 years and then lose, and then tell us after they've lost. And then the other thing is the spending at City Hall. Your taxes, our taxes, have gone up in the last 5 years 26.9%, almost 27%. Now, if you're a small business owner who owns if you own your business, if you're the landlord or you're the tenant of the business, the commercial property taxes have went up 33%. And so whether you own the commercial property or you run a restaurant or a business, the landlord would increase your rents because the commercial property taxes have went up. So each of these 5 years, the city councilors say it's a one-time tax increase. But if you do it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4, 5, it stops becoming a one-time tax increase. And we're all paying more taxes, but we're not getting more services. And our city hall is wasting the money. $500,000 was stolen in gift cards. The Olympic Oval, we paid the former chief CEO $500,000, probably more with expenses. So we need to go through the departments at City Hall, cut the spending, and stop increasing our taxes every single year. And stop the corruption at City Hall.
Yeah. Best way is let them get out.
And then finally, I was here in Stevenson with Wong last week for Canada Day. This year, they did not do fireworks. Usually they do fireworks right here at Gary Point Park. They stopped doing fireworks. The city of Vancouver stopped doing fireworks. We need to find things to do to make our cities livable, to make them fun.
Yes.
And we should bring back the fireworks. Yes. Or maybe we could even do drone displays here. Yeah. We need to use our parks and recreation services so that everyone can enjoy them, so that Richmond can be a fun city. If they're not going to do it in Vancouver, then I want people to come to Richmond to celebrate fireworks on the Lunar New Year, on Canada Day, on New Year, on Halloween. Just events to include families and make Richmond a more livable city for everyone. And so that everyone can enjoy living here in Richmond. So we can raise our families here in a safe city, no crime, no drugs, and with lots of things for families to do. Thank you.
Thanks, Sheldon.
Thank you.
Oh, and just make sure, when you go to vote on October 17th, if you live here in the city of Richmond, or even if you live in other cities, pay very close attention. In Richmond, you get 1 vote for mayor, 8 votes for council, and 7 votes for school board. And that's the same if you live in Surrey or other cities, Burnaby. If you live in Vancouver, you get 10 votes for council. So just be very careful who you are voting for and pay attention, because some of the politicians will lie. Cashid is running for mayor here in Richmond, and he's going to tell you he's against drug sites, but he wanted the supervised consumption site in Richmond Hospital. He wanted these drug housing sites. Now that the election is here, he's going to say he's against it. But don't let him fool you. Don't let any of them fool you. He will say his 40 years of experience as a police officer, while the Vancouver downtown east side, where he worked as a police officer, as a police superintendent in a leadership role, that's what it looks like today, after 40 years of his leadership there. So we don't want him, after ruining Vancouver, to come here and ruin Richmond as well.